Alright, this is the one that started it all. It starts with the Party in My Tummy song, which is one of the most famous songs in the entire series. I'm gonna be saying that a lot because there's a lot of really famous songs that originate from season 1. It was actually originally in the 2006 pilot. I'm gonna be saying that a lot too. Anyways, the pilot version of it is largely the same except for the cup of juice being a sippy cup in the pilot. Then as for the first animated music video in the series, it's actually really good and it's pretty catchy. Then it's snack time, and I'm gonna be honest, both this and the meal Broby eats earlier look really good. They just look really tasty. This show can do that a lot actually, make their food look really dang tasty, despite not being edible. But that's okay, half the stuff I eat isn't even edible. The snack quality though seems really unfair, like Broby gets a carrot while Muno gets a banana. Come on. We all know which one is better. Then the first of these character-centric segments comes up. So, pretty much Plex is the how-to stuff, Muno is the play-pretend, Broby is the what's the color, Tootie is the what's the sound, and Foofas are by far the worst. She does this maze thing where you just decide which way to go. Not like you actually get to choose, obviously it's just a video. I think I've talked about these before, and none of them are that great, aside from maybe like Plex's. And none of these would stay in the show past the first season, except for DJ Lance's dances, which was the only thing I didn't mention, and they're just doing dances. That's the whole segment. Then that one guy from Back to the Future Part 2 does the first dancey dance on the show, not counting the pilot. This and Back to the Future 2 were pretty much his only roles. He wasn't in much else. There's the first Mark Mothersbaugh segment, and do I really need to go on and say every time a staple of the show gets introduced? There's nothing to it other than just being the first Mark segment. Skipping ahead a lot to something actually interesting is the Clean It Up song with the trash can guy. Cool that it dates back all the way to the first episode, but anyways, I don't have much more to say about the episode, so yeah, it's decent for a first episode, I guess. Then for the next episode, Summer, I already covered it, but I think it's one of the best episodes of the first season, honestly, the whole show. There's probably a lot of bias behind that opinion, though. Fun. It's a pretty decent episode. I wouldn't say it's as good as Summer, but better than E. It starts out with Muno, Fufa, Broby, and Tootie singing Party in My Tummy. That's already one difference from the original. It's also about breakfast. Another difference. Alright, I've been waiting to do this since I was like 4. Now that was 2015, and all this food is from 2015. That's how long I've been waiting. I've been pre-prepared for this for a long time. I don't know why in particular I chose August of 2023, but here we are. We got milk, cereal, bread, butter for the cereal, oats, yeah, a single egg, not too many. I've actually never had eggs in my entire life before, and I think I've actually never had any of this stuff ever in my entire life. I poured some glasses of milk in my day, but I've never actually drank them, you know, at least I think. But let's try this. It's 8 years old, but 8 years, that's literally less than 10, and age is just a number, you know? Alright, let's dig in. I got food poisoning. Then there's this like drugged up fever dream ASMR type animated music video. I like it now, and I also liked it when I was little. Not the drug part. Yes, the drug part. Then there's this part of the episode I really like, where they show Plex what fun is, and not gonna lie, it's kinda sweet. Okay, so then there's this part where they introduce the Hold Still song, and Plex is trying to take a picture of them, and cool camera. But other than that, there's not too much to this episode. It's pretty solid. It could also work as a first episode, like Eat. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Banana. Left to the right. Children like it. Roby like it. Banana. Me, I like it. Banana. Everybody like it. Banana. Left to the right. Banana. Come on, people. Banana. Come on, sing a song now. Banana. North to south. Banana. South to east. Banana. Everybody like it. Banana. Reggae, 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 reggae. Banana. Oh, come on, Gabba, Gabba, say. Banana. Eat healthy. Banana. Alright, so, the dance episode. Man, this season has been killing it so far. All have been pretty good, aside from maybe E, and some elements from fun. But yeah, I remember really liking this one. Not like it's a super long time since I last watched it, so yeah, let's just get right into it. This episode starts with Here we go again! Anyways, there's this frog portion. It's cool, I guess. Sorry. Then they play the Hold Still game, a Yo Gabba Gabba classic if I do say so myself.
Wiggle, go, wiggle, 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 stop. Hold still. Let's play a game now.
Then there's a dance from Hector Jimenez. I probably said that wrong. I've never seen any of his work, nor do I really know anything about him, but he seems like a cool guy. Then there's this part where this lady named Migu talks about the drums, and that's cool, but I'm like 99% sure that this is dubbed. Then Muno runs into this big block castle, and everyone forgives him, except Tootie. Well, at first.
Muno, watch where you're going.
I'm completely on her side. Like, the only way you can run into that is if you're, like, blind and deaf, you know? Like, and she's supposed to be the bad guy. Like, come on! Then Sean and John, all you need is Ron, do some tap dancing for a cool trick segment. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Then there's this part I really like where DJ Lance makes this cool rhythm pattern game. I don't know what it's called. And it's cool. It's simple and easy to understand for little kids while also kind of being a challenge. Even someone older can play along. There's not much to the rest of the episode. I mean, there's the second ever Super Martian Robot Girl comic. So yeah, this episode is really great. Honestly, I think it's probably the best so far. I don't know though, fun is also really good. Well, on to the next one. Ah, the sleep episode. As you can see, I'm fully prepared. AKA tired. So this episode was released on DVD in the Nick Jr. compilation DVD line. This was something from around 2008 to 2009. Now, there were 4 primary ones from what I remember. There's a family-themed one with Moon on the cover, a fall or Halloween-themed one with Broby on the cover, a sports-themed one with Tootie on the cover, which I actually have. I just have the disc. It's somewhere. And then this one, the only one I have in the case, because I don't have the other two, is Sleepy Time Stories. And now I originally thought all 4 of these came out at the same time. Apparently they didn't. This was the first one to come out, and yeah, has a sleep episode. The episode reuses the Hold Still song, which is the exact opposite of sleep. The animated music video is decent, a nice little lullaby-esque tune. I like how they show the characters actually sleeping with these blankets themed after, you know, the characters, and I wish I could own one. There's this Super Music and French Show song, and it's okay. Then Muno's scared of sleeping and pretty much has an existential crisis. Then there's this part of the episode where, okay, real quick, I love how Plex stands up while sleeping. Like, he's pretty much charging. I know it's not that deep, but I just enjoy it. It's a nice little touch. Anyways, about the song, it's truly beautiful. It shows how dreams can be whatever you make of them. And you could be a millionaire, go to space, fly around the world. Review part of the Yo Gabba Gabba Nature episode. The possibilities are endless. The song itself, though, just genuinely sounds great. I love the music, and the lyrics are so good. That's all I gotta say. No jokes. Truly, it is incredible. For the 6th episode of the season, I've already looked at it, and it's okay, I guess. It introduced Archibald, and literally nobody could forget Nathaniel, the absolute legend. This episode is kind of forgettable. I think it's because Season 2 has an episode titled New Friends, which is much better. Anyways, the episode starts with Muno trying to find friends. Loser. Then there's this weird song about sharing with friends. This could also be put in the share episode, but I'll get to that later. Then Plex and 2D see the Oski Bugs. The first appearance in the series, but Plex doesn't know what a high five is. Then there's a dancey dance. Anyways, they do this dance called the Peanut Butter Stomp, but not too interesting. Then later in the episode, Muno and Fuva take turns. I don't care! So for the cool trick of the episode, this kid balances a spoon on his nose. That's pretty cool. I could probably do that. How you doing? So after the cool trick, Broby runs into Plex and completely knocks him over.
What happened?
The last interesting thing in this episode is the story at the end. It's kind of weird. It kind of creeped me out back then, and it still kind of does now. But alright, so this is probably the worst one yet. There is literally, like, nothing to this one. I hope the next one's at least a little better. I don't have much to say about this episode. I like the rocket part at the beginning, and I enjoy two of the more interesting songs. The first of which happens when Muno throws a snowball at Plex, and he shuts down. I like how they actually use the fact that Tootie was in the Iceland, so they use a snowball, and how they use Plex being a robot for storytelling purposes. Later, there's a part where Plex and Roby tell Fufa not to run with scissors. She was using them because her and DJ Lance were making paper cutouts, and I really like DJ Lance's. Fufa's is good, but I mean, just come on, DJ Lance's is better. And so yeah, this is a really solid episode. I can't really say anything too great about it, but it has some very creative and interesting ideas. Scary, the lowest rated episode of the season. Well, it's tied with the car episode technically, but later. Anyways, I don't think it deserves a 5.6. It's better than the Friends episode. Let me just get into that. Alright, so the episode starts with Gabba getting slightly darker. It's not that crazy, but Muno just can't see anything. Anyways, for the animated music video, nope, moving on. There's the I Like Bugs song. Oh my god, I hate this song and literally like all of its other versions. There's only one thing left to do.
Later.
I found out you don't have to be 21 in order to drink rubbing alcohol. You have to be already dead because, well, no matter what, you're gonna die from drinking this. So, which, yes, I broke the law. And my brain, probably. And for the Dancey Dance, it's Leslie Hall, one of the Yo Gabba Gabba greats, and it's probably the best part of the episode. Then Tootie tries an avocado, but nobody gives it a chance till they try it. It's pretty much just like the Eat episode. Later, Broby tries eating this snack thing. I think it's like a cracker. It's a really sad death story though. And also, where did Plex put it? Like, I obviously see he put it in his door compartment thing, but did he just throw it away? Did he like leave it there? Even if he did throw it away, where would he have put it? Did he just give it to DJ Lance? Where would he throw it away? It's just a white, desolate wasteland. Did they just drop it off the Yo Gabba Gabba set? I mean, to be fair, you pretty much never see the ground. So I don't know, and I'm getting really deep into this, and maybe it's some government conspiracy thing. That's honestly very likely. That seems like a very probable thing coming from this show. And that's the episode, and I'm still off with the fact that I drank a bunch of rubbing alcohol that is in my body right now. False alarm. Overall, I don't think it's a great episode, but I don't think it's the worst of the season thus far. It's the second worst. Alright, I'm gonna skip the next episode, which is the Halloween one. I just want to save it for October. Greetings is a good one. I like the part at the beginning where all the characters are greeting you. There's not really a song, but it's nice. Then for the animated music video, whoa dang, this is really good.
Hello, how you doing? I love the word hello.
Then they sing the name game song for the first time, which is yet again iconic.
My name is Plex. 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 Plex.
Hi, I'm Paul because I'm Paul.
Then these kids just sing Yo Gabba Gabba songs. It's from the Stupid Music and Friends show, but it's kind of weird. Then there's this part with Gumballs that just say like, excuse me. That's kind of it. Then the Gumballs have to go and they sing the goodbye song. Oh, I just want to say something too. So early in the episode there's a big segment. And just, might I say, Biz is so, just like, full of life. He makes the goofiest, most out there faces. And he seemed to have a lot of fun on the show. Sadly, about 2 years ago, he passed away. But he will always be remembered as a legend. I would also like to talk about their remixes at the end of all the episodes. They're pretty good. I love when the songs, like, they're actually different. They're not just the original songs, but kind of like parts of them. They like actually use different music in the background, and that's especially apparent in this episode. I'd honestly say all the remix songs at the end are probably better than the ones that are used in the episodes. I mean, I guess that's not that surprising, but I don't know. I just never really put much thought into the remixes or cared about them. And it's kind of just now that I've really given an appreciation for them. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. It's really good, mostly for the music. Like, that animated music video is really catchy, and I like that greeting thing at the beginning. Plus, it introduced the name game song, still a weird name, and the goodbye song. So yeah, don't have much else to say. It's a pretty good episode. Alright, so the Move episode. I remember watching this one a lot. It's kind of a weird one, but I remember enjoying it. So they reuses the Hold Still song, which, I mean, it is iconic. What is this, like the third time? I can't even keep track anymore. But for the animated music video, well, this is a classic. Pick It Up. It's just this dad telling his kids to clean the room, and it's fire, much like the dad. The dance is kind of goofy, though.
Pick it up, 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 pick it up.
Then there's this segment with Ricky Fitness from the Acrobats. And it's so weird because it's pretty much a cool trick segment, but it's not. It's just a one-off thing. Heck, there was still a cool trick segment in this episode, and this is really fun. Just look at this. These guys were having a great time. There's a Skippy Skip song, and God, the amount of times they use this same song, just with a different word, is so tiring. It's not even a good song. It's literally just one word. Like, for example, Snacky Snack and Jumpy Jump. Literally, they're all the same song, just with a different word. But from then on, there's not too much to mention, other than there's this song where Fupa tries getting Broly to be quiet for these birds, where Broly, being the absolute chat he is, decides to keep being loud. Anyways, there's pretty much nothing else to mention. Oh my God, it's Tony Hawk! As a Tony Hawk connoisseur, I'm just kidding, I literally know nothing about him. But inside my desk, these have always been here. There are all these Tony Hawk games. We got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, Tony Hawk's Underground 2. This doesn't even work, I don't think. Redbox more like Tony Hawk Box. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on Game Boy Color. This is like one of the best games ever made. Oh my God, I freaking love Tony Hawk. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode. Faces, we have them. I guess the Gabba Gabba guys cracked the code. They made a whole song about it. There's also this Super Music and Friends Show thing, but the guy, like, he is a face on the Super Music and Friends Show. He is literally a being that is the Super Music and Friends Show. So he's like a TV person thing, but he appeared a couple times in the first season, but he's been pretty forgotten since. This guy is a complete anomaly. Then they play the Baby Steps, Big Steps game. That's it. Baby steps and big steps. Literally it. And this is a pretty popular game in Gabba. Like, all the characters recognize it. You know, I don't even care that much about the Baby Steps, Big Steps game and the weird things about it. I'm just gonna move on. Then for the Dance Dance, they got Nikki Flores. I love Flores, so this part of the episode is great. Man, that's like the most boring sentence I've ever said. What am I gonna say next? I love watching paint dry. Frick! Then they're playing this game, or whatever, and Muno just bites Fufa. Yep. The sound is just what does it for me. Anyways, later in the episode, there's this part where they're all doing something, and Broly is building this castle, and Muno lets go of the ball, and this pretty much makes a Rube Goldberg machine. Muno says it's his fault, but like, yeah, no it wasn't. When he dropped it, it didn't even hit the castle. It bounced on a bunch of other stuff. I do like when the castle falls over though, and Muno says, not again. A little reference to the dance episode when he first knocked down the castle. I also like that for the song they use, they didn't just use the same one from the dance episode, they used the Teamwork song instead. Then there's the Super Martian Robot Girl comic that, before rewatching, I had no recollection of. Okay, so pretty much, these people are playing instruments in a jungle and get kind of interrupted by a dancing alien. Oh, also, could you believe they got Sylvester Stallone in this?
When suddenly this Cobra Man came dancing out of the jungle.
This episode is not that great. There were no parts that I genuinely liked. The only thing I'm probably gonna even remember from it is when Muno bites Fufa. I think it's of a similar quality to Scary. It's probably even worse, just because at least Scary had some creative stuff in it. This one is just boring. The next episode was the Christmas one, and I've already talked about it, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. This episode revolves around, guess what? That's right, the Civil War. I'm just kidding. It's about the American Revolution. So anyways, the episode begins with Muno, Fufa, and Plex getting in a car. This episode also confirms some new lore about Yo Gabba Gabba, because Plex states that he could drive, which would make him at least 16. The animated music video is also pretty fire. It's about crosswalk safety. Broby also runs in the road, and everyone gets upset because, well, they almost killed him, and then the show will get cancelled before it even finished its first season. To be fair, Broby's not completely in the wrong. DJ Lance made the road so Plex could drive down it, but it wasn't like Broby was in the car with them, so it's not like he would automatically know what a road is. Okay, anyways, they sing this song which sounds awfully familiar.
Dangerous. So dangerous. You have dangerous.
There's also this part of the episode that I really like, where they have the musical duo Sugarland. I don't know much about them, but they seem cool, just going off of this episode. I looked them up, but my computer is still broke, so I know literally nothing about the internet right now. Broby was as a sock puppet, and while I don't have much to say regarding the song or anything, I do want to talk about the actual sock puppet. It was pretty much only used in the first season and never again, which I always thought was kind of weird. But my favorite part of the episode has to be when they actually drive. You get to see more of Gabba as well as other places like Tokyo and stuff, and I thought the way they drew it at night looked really cool. Actually, all the art in this part looks really good. But that's pretty much the episode. I think it's really good. It doesn't have the most memorable songs, but it has the ending, and Sugarland are good in it as well. One more thing, they actually made a playset based on this episode, you know, with the car. They also did the same thing with the train episode, but I'll get to there later. I actually really want to own this car and the train, but they're pretty expensive and rare. The train cars you can kind of find online, but, you know, like I said, my computer's broke, so... Presents! Everyone loves presents, and if you're like... everyone, you'll love this episode. So yeah, they all get bouncy balls, and I'm sorry, but this really annoys me. Why would you give Tootie a light and dark green present, like the box of it? That's literally Broby's colors. Anyways, Broby gets taught to share, which is kinda weird. Like, it's his ball. He can do whatever he wants with it. It's not like that's the only ball. All of them have one to call their own. Broby's not being rude, like hogging the ball. Literally no one came up to him. Like, they just said, you should share. Like, he doesn't just go up to people and be like, hey, you wanna share with my ball? No, he was just minding his own business. Muno didn't even come up to him till like part way through the song. What? Look, I gotta relax just for a second. After that. But okay, so then there's this song, and there goes the relaxation. I also just realized, like, look, she's the lady from the dance episode, the poorly dubbed one. Then they sing the No, Don't, Take It Away song. What's interesting about this one, though, is that it's pretty similar to the one used in the pilot, much like Party in My Tummy in the Eat episode. Then you see a Super Martian Robot Girl comic. Anyways, they start a band, and this is an interesting cast of characters. Anyways, the episode ends. It's decent, not much to say. 6 out of 10. So the episode starts with Tootie and Broby pretending to swim. Truth be told, I think there's some cool experimental stuff in here. Like getting to see through Tootie's ice and Broby sitting down. Look, I know sitting down doesn't sound cool, but it is for this show because they're these big, bulky costume things. Okay, well, they sing this song which...
I like fish. I like fish. I like fish. I like fish.
I can just imagine Muno being like, no, it's I like bugs! Then there's this fire song that feels shit out of the 2000s. I mean, I guess this episode was like, what, 2008? But still, it feels more like 2002 is what I mean. Then they sing the Peekaboo song, which is pretty iconic. Peekaboo. They then do a dance with Sean Kingston of all people. Alright, so later, Broby is snipping around at this tree. Also, side note, this tree can talk, so, Broby, that's kinda, what? I also guess I'm stupid, because at first I thought these acorns were the holes. Yeah, you know, but can you blame me? At first, you can't even see the holes. It's only once they use the magnifying glass. So when they're talking about the holes, I just thought the acorns were like, well, so when has this tree ever had acorns? It has never had acorns on it. So that's why I just assumed those were the holes. Then the incredible Roselle does a cool trick, and it's pretty cool. I mean, most of the time, they are pretty cool. They're not as hit or miss as the animated music videos that are at the beginning of each episode. But then there's the Keep Trying song. They use the song in a couple other episodes too. So this is another episode that wasn't originally in this one. It was in the 2006 pilot, so yeah, there you go. From then on, there's a lot of interesting stuff. There's a Super Martian Robot Girl comic, and one of those Plex how-to segments. So yeah, this episode is pretty good, at least for this season. I don't have a train, so I had to use paper towels. And I don't have a train conductor hat either, so I had to use this. Pretty close enough. Choo-choo! The episode begins with them all building a train and repeating the teamwork song. And I don't know why, but I like this version more. I think it's probably just because it's more interesting. I love the animated music video in this episode. It's this trippy claymation looking fever dream. I mean, a lot of other animated music videos in this season are, but it's amazing. Then DJ Lance has a train conductor hat, and that's cool. I would pay roughly $7 billion for it, and Muno's also scared of going on the train. It's the same song from the Scary episode, and it is probably of a similar quality to the original. Then there's a Fufa Maze segment, and it's boring and drawn out like the others. Seriously, I'm so glad they ditched these with the second season onward. Then Layla Ali makes her guest cameo in the episode. Then they actually go on a train ride, and honestly, I'd love to do this in real life. Like, yeah, I'm a diehard Yo Gabba Gabba fanboy, but just imagine riding on the Yo Gabba Gabba train on the actual set. Then they play the inside voice, outside voice game. The voices just get quiet and loud, that's it. But it's kinda cute, I guess. There's a Mushi and Pootie segment, and that's the end of the episode. Yeah, it's a good episode. I think the car one is still better, and there's definitely better episodes, but for what it is, I enjoy it. Love. The balloon-themed episode. Well, I mean, one of them had to be. So, this introduces Balloony, Broby's orange balloon friend. He thankfully made it past the first season, not like Broby's sock puppet thing. He didn't appear the most, but he made some cameos here and there. And some of the ones he played a big part in, like the flying episode. I mean, I guess that makes sense considering in this one, Broby also flies. Not too much to say about it, aside from towards the end of the episode, Tootie is an absolute poopy head. So yeah, Tootie was being really rude to Google, so he's upset, and rightfully so. You know, the story of Google is really sad. He's a ghost thing that is always sad. He's never always with the Yo Gabba Gabba cast. He's just like a sixth member, kind of, not counting DJ Lance. But he's just alone and struggles with depression. Why would you make children think about depression, you sick Yo Gabba Gabba writers? But yeah, they sing a song about being nice. Whoa, okay, there wasn't that much to cover with that one. But that means we only have one episode left. Alright, this is it. The final one. Okay, so first off, I really like this title card. I like how it's an animation. It's in an actual dream cloud, like, imagination. Like, obviously it's in your mind, so they use the dream cloud. I think that idea is actually pretty cool. Okay, so anyways, the episode starts with Tootie and Fufa just using their imaginations. But what is this costume for Tootie? It almost looks like the season 4 costume. Like, this is clearly different than what they used in the first season, or most of it, I guess, technically, considering this episode. I also enjoy the Some Things Are Big, Some Things Are Small song. The song has been made in a couple different versions, and this one I think is my favorite. Okay, so then Broby is sad, so they bring him a bunch of balloons. You know, it's kind of weird. The very end of the season went with a more balloon-themed direction. Really though, this part of the episode is pretty good. It shows fully how great of friends all the Gabbas are, and I like the part where Broby starts ascending in the air and they had to pull him back down, despite him literally flying on balloons in the previous episode. Okay, but then there's a song by the Shins. They have a band? They sing a song called It's Okay, Try Again, and it's also pretty good. Then Broby's looking for magic beans so he could do magic? Well, Tootie lies about saying that she can do magic. Then Broby tells everyone to come over, and Tootie's in a pickle. Everyone hates her, and rightfully so. Well, time to disown. Then there's this surfer guy named Alex. Moving on, you see Plex fixing some of his circuits. I do the same thing, I fix my organs. That's pretty much like the same thing. Because of that, I haven't been to a hospital in 31 years. Keep in mind, I'm only 27. You also find out about Muno's organs. And that's kind of the episode. Aside from this centipede guy trying to buy a hat, that's pretty much it. So, for the final episode of the season, it's pretty good, I guess. I enjoy a lot of stuff, and I can't really call anything downright bad, aside from Fufa's Maze, I guess, but that's something bad I can say about all the episodes that segment is in. Alright, I've finally done it. I've watched all of the boring episodes of Yo Gabba Gabba. Pretty much the entire first season, aside from Halloween. But, because I looked at Christmas, summer, happy, you know, and I've just looked at all the boring ones. You know, like the generic ones, you know, Together, Friends. I just coincidentally said the 2 worst ones. I mean, I've seen all these episodes probably at least like 5 times. Heck, Dance I've probably seen like 40 times. But 5 is really just an average. Because some of them I've watched way more times than that. Some of them maybe less. I don't remember, because I'm not ever going to watch the episode Together again, maybe like once or twice in my life. I don't remember it that well. That's why I don't like that episode that much. It's really kind of forgettable. But some of the episodes, like Car, I have seen a lot more because that's an interesting episode that I enjoy watching. And truth be told, honestly, aside from maybe Friends and Together and a lot of Scary, I kind of enjoyed watching all of these. Some of them, they're just alright. I might revisit them a couple times. But some of them are also really good. Weirdly, the first fourth of the season, I would say, is the best. Because the best episodes of the seasons are from the first fourth, which is kind of weird. You would expect the season to improve, but I think, to be fair, they were all made around the same time. But the first fourth of the season has Eat, Summer, which is top 5 favorite episodes of the whole show. Summer is my favorite of the first season. Fun, Dance, Sleep. Well, Sleep, out of all these boring ones, was my favorite, and Dance was second. And I also really enjoyed Fun, and Eat was a decent episode still. It's so weird, and I would say the worst period of episodes, that's kind of hard to decide. I don't think it's the last fourth, so it's probably like the second fourth or the third fourth. The second fourth has Happy, Friends, Careful, Scary, and Halloween. And the third fourth has Greetings, Move, Together, Christmas, and Car. Those are both pretty tough competitions, considering Halloween is also like top 5 episodes of the show, but that's the only one that's super great. I mean, like, the third, fourth has more quality, even though Halloween I like more than all of those. The third, fourth has Christmas and Car and Move and Greetings, but at the same time, it also has Together. But the second, fourth of the season has Friends and Scary. So I would say the second, fourth, despite having one of my favorite episodes of the whole show, was probably the worst part of the season. And like I said, Sleep is still my favorite. It's not my favorite of the whole first season. I still like Halloween and Summer more, but out of all of these 16 that I looked at, Sleep was my favorite. It just genuinely captured the Sleep feel more. That was the problem with some of these, is that they didn't need to be themed around these, but Sleep was perfectly themed around Sleep. I really enjoyed the Dream song, and everything about it was just nice and relaxing. I really enjoyed it. And then Dance is just a fun, dancey episode. I like the beginning. It's genuinely really fun, and everything about it is just fun, not counting the episode fun, which was also pretty decent. Look, the point of this was to look at the boring episodes of the first season. Despite me calling them boring, I would actually say this experience has been anything but boring. It's been interesting and fascinating to know how the show would improve past the first season. And for a while, I always just kind of thought the first season was like the second or third best. And while now I would probably say it is the worst, just because it's a little rough around the edges, like Phineas and Ferb Season 1. Not a bad season, it's just a little rough around the edges, and there's more interesting stuff that would come in Seasons 2, 3, and 4. Or like Drake and Josh. Like every show, pretty much. It's not something just unique to Yo Gabba Gabba. And that's how I would describe this experience.